What to do? So we got creepless videos on TikTok. Let's get straight to it.
Do I think Gabriella from Saw X deserved it? She's being suspended in the air by one wrist and one.
So she reviewing Saw X. This is the new Saw. Haven't you heard about it? Does it come out?
One ankle in front of this radiation machine. The power of the machine is being increased the longer that she's stuck in front of it. So she has to use this hammer-like tool to break her ankle and break her wrist so she can slip out of the cuffs and out from underneath the machine. Her crime is being complicit in this giant scheme to rip off John Kramer and provide him with false hope in this fake cancer treatment. This trap is kind of ironic though, because long exposure to radiation can actually cause cancer, and Gabriella was pretending to have survived treatment by Cecilia. So in a way, John's like, oh, you said you have cancer? Take this. Gabriella did do a bad thing, but you can tell more so than other people in the group, she didn't want to be there and she didn't want to be doing it.
This is Every Woman Killed by Jack the Ripper, Part 1. Hello.
I heard about this. I always wanted to watch this video. Now let's see what's up. Every Woman Killed by Jack the Ripper. All right.
Folks, anyone who knows me knows that I have an unhealthy fixation with the Whitechapel murders, and I also happen to work in Whitechapel. So let me take you out on my...
So is this the actual street they were murdered on? Holy.
lunch break to show you the real story of the 5 women who were murdered by the killer known as Jack the Ripper. This is Osborne Street, the last place that Polly Nichols was ever seen alive. Polly was born into poverty here, in the toxic black smog of Fleet Street. And she was married right here, in St. Bread's Church, when she was 18, to a machinist called William. William was a serial adulterer and physically abusive, but that wasn't yet grounds for divorce, so Polly had no choice but to endure or leave, and she bravely left for the workhouse in 1880. Polly spent the remaining 8 years of her life drifting between Lambeth Workhouse and the pavement in Trafalgar Square. During this time, she grew completely dependent on alcohol. And in 1888, she arrived here in Whitechapel, by all accounts the worst slum in the city. On the night of her murder, she visited the Frying Pan Pub, which was right here on Brick Lane. Polly arrived back at her lodging house, but didn't have the money for...
So she's a hardworking woman. Sounds like she can take care of herself pretty nicely. Other than the alcohol problem, she sounds alright.
her bed and was ordered to leave. She was last seen alive by her roommate, Emily Holland, right here wandering down Osborne Street, about an hour before she was killed. Emily recalled that Polly's last words were, "I've had my lodging money 3 times today, and I've spent it. And that just breaks my heart every time." Polly then staggered towards Whitechapel Road aimlessly, finally falling asleep against a stable door on Buck.
That's probably why she was murdered, ain't it? If you guys don't know, Jack the Ripper is like some killer in the 1800s. He killed and terrorized prostitutes. So that's probably why he killed this woman. She was laying on the door outside after she was just so tired, and she looked like she had money. So he probably thought she was a prostitute. Holy.
Row, which is now the station entrance to Whitechapel Overground. And this is where her body was found at 4 a.m. Her throat had been cut, followed by multiple stab wounds to her abdomen and sexual organs. At this point, the profile of the killer was already beginning to form. Whoever did this was interested in more than just instrumental violence. He used expressive violence, using more force than was necessary to...
Expressive violence. Jack the Ripper. Holy. So he he was in there pretty much.
just kill her, immediately hinting at a deeper, more twisted motive. And this began the Autumn of Terror. In 1888, forensic science didn't exist, and the police had no suspect, but they knew they were dealing with a new kind of killer, and they were vastly out of their depth. Come back for part 2.
Why did I think she was about to do all 5 women? I want to see a part 2 of this video. Somebody let me know.
In the the old basement of an antique warehouse lays an evil, haunted dummy. Say,
I don't like dolls, man. I don't like dolls. Ever since the movie Annabelle, I don't deal with dolls. Why does this dummy have no arms? And look at its hair. Oh no, I don't deal with these things.
hello to Stumpy. You might be able to see why this dummy is missing an arm. But there's far more sinister, creepy things about this dummy. It is said to be responsible for a ton of paranormal activity here. But before we get to the dark history of this creepy dummy, I want to tell you about some of the other ghosts that are said to lurk within. You can see...
Why don't they ever catch ghosts on camera? If it's so paranormal, why don't they catch it on camera? That's my question. Like, imagine the dummy standing up and then a whole bunch of just things flying across from it. Things always say to be haunted, but they never catch it on camera. It's all cap. It's all lies. I don't understand. But if we caught on camera and like a haunted doll standing up and like a million other things flying across from it, holy, and doll just start moving on camera, holy, no animatronics. Yeah, that'd be pretty terrifying. Anyway, let's keep on.
yourself, this place is filled with creepy, perhaps cursed objects. So it's no surprise to me at all they host paranormal nights, for the activity in here is said to be so strong. Most frightening, I'd say, is the spirit of an old man with a broken neck that is thought to be one of the former workers here that died in a terrible accident back when it was a mill in the Victorian period. Some people have actually
So the guy used to work there and fell and broke his neck in a haunted doll museum. And they just framed him and put him up as a doll and kept him in the museum. What the hell, man? And then they got this dummy.
fainted in fright upon seeing him, but this dummy is the reason we're here. Since he showed up, the paranormal activity has got worse. We've come here to the antique warehouse Bygone Times today.
Why is he holding it? Holy. I would not be caught dead holding a haunted doll like that. Oh no. And he says it's haunted and he's sitting there. Oh, no thank you.
Just to find this rare antique dummy, there's actually said to be haunted. And no joke at all, it is freezing cold down here as well. The temperature's dropped massively. But what a creepy little dude. It actually even says on his tag that he is haunted. It's down here. How creepy. I was a little bit reluctant to pick him up. However, I had to for the video and I was granted permission to do so to create this for you all. And no lie, it got freezing cold when I touched him. So the dummy is actually said to move not only its head during the day, but is in a completely new position by morning. And a ghostly, clown-like voice has been heard when people are near it. Bygone Times itself is said.
Did you hear that?
It got freezing cold when I touched him. So
Listen, when he goes in the dark room, you hear some clown voices. Hold on.
Oh, the dummy is actually said to move, not only its head during the day, but is in a completely new position by morning. And a ghostly, clown-like voice has been heard
Listen.
when people are near it.
Right there.
Bygone Times itself is said to be very haunted, but in particular, the old War Museum. Loads of strange activities reported in here, so let's investigate inside. As we walk round the corner, one of the displays suddenly goes off and scares the bloody wits out of me. After touching that dummy, I just could not warm up. I was freezing cold. Now, it might be down to the weather, but equally it happened straight after I touched it. So when you visit, he's waiting.
3 years ago, a video was up.
That'll be all for today, folks. Please like and subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.